I was like, well, Kim, we've accomplished a lot since you first came. You've already filed for divorce and you've obtained an attorney. I bet you didn't feel like you had the energy to do that, did you?
No, I didn't think I could, but I'm starting to get there.
So how are you feeling now?
I'm doing all right. I'm happier than I was.
You're happier?
A lot happier.
How so?
I just feel like a lot of stress is out of my life.
And what types of stress is out of your life?
Just everything dealing with my husband and the problems that we had, and it just feels like this divorce is just gonna solve a lot of things.
So you feel like your divorce is going to solve a lot?
Solve a lot of problems, yeah.
That's good. And how are you liking your new place? I know last time we met you said you and your children just moved in your new apartment. How are you liking that?
I love it. I love my new apartment. The kids are happy. I'm happy. Safer. It's
You
good.
do feel like you're safer?
I feel like I'm a lot safer.
And the safety plan that we initiated from the first meeting, or excuse me, the second meeting, it's working out good still.
Yeah.
Do you feel like we need to revise that any?
No, I think it works pretty well.
Okay. And have you talked to your husband about the divorce at all?
Not really. We're just right now working on going and finalizing things and getting the custody agreement set up and things like that for the kids.
And by finalizing, you mean?
The divorce to be final.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Now I know that you have accomplished a lot of your goals, so the last thing we need to try to work on is reaching the custody agreement with your ex-husband.
Yes.
So, what do you think? What are your feelings about that? How do you feel? What do you think should happen as far as custody goes?
I mean, he works a lot, so I know that joint custody isn't an option. There's no
Mm-hmm.
way he could have them 3 days a week, 1 week, 4 days the week next week. It's just not. But I mean, if he wants them on the weekends when he's not working, that's fine with me. I mean, they need their father in their life just as much as their mother.
Mm-hmm. So you said he doesn't want joint custody.
He does want joint custody, which I just doesn't feel is gonna work or there's any way it could work. The kids would be what with his parents or something while he's at work during the week. That would just be that's not why, and they could be with their mother.
Mm-hmm. You seem upset when you start talking about joint custody.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. I don't think that's safe for my children, or it's just not a good idea.
You don't feel safe because of his history of drug and alcohol
Drug and
abuse.
alcohol abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's understandable. Well, I think it's a good plan to come up with your attorney and try to speak with her and let her know, your wishes. That way, you guys can go to the court and, come in with an agreement hopefully before, so you don't have to, argue in court. Are you worried that he's going to try to fight you for joint custody?
Oh, I believe that he will.
You believe that he will?
Yeah,
Well,
but I don't. I feel like with his background and things like that, I don't think the judge would grant it.
mm-hmm.
So I'm not really too worried about that.
So you're worried that he's going to take you to court, but you're not worried that he's going to actually get joint
Yeah, I
custody.
don't think he will.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think a good idea would be to try to set some steps in order to come up with a solution before you guys have to go to court. I think it'd be great if you could, try to come up with some plans ahead of time in order to establish some steps in order to come up with an agreement with your ex-husband. How does that
Okay,
sound?
sounds good.
So, what do you think needs to be done in order to come up with an agreement?
I need to talk with my lawyer and let her know my wishes, and then she can talk to his lawyer, who can talk to him, and we can decide if that's what he wants, and if not, we can take it to court.
Mm-hmm.
But I prefer to have something ready instead of having to do that. But if that's what we have to do, that's what I'll have to do.
Do you think it would be a good idea to maybe write down your wishes ahead of time before meeting with your lawyer and she can kind of see how reasonable they are?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good idea. I think the first step would be, writing down on a piece of paper, and I can even help you if you'd like. We can write down your wishes and what you would like out of custody, and then you can submit that to your attorney. And then after that, your attorney could submit that to his attorney. And maybe you could even try to talk to him if he's being reasonable at the time or he's sober. Try to talk to him about what your wishes are and see if you two can come to an agreement. That way you don't have to, because I know you said that you're also struggling financially. So that way you don't have to um, even have to go through really attorneys other than for them to do the paperwork for you.
Yeah.
But do you think that's an option as far as a step goes in that process?
I can try. It's a good step to try.
And how's communication going with him at this time?
Kind of depends on the day.
And you said he still is working out of town, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So have you communicated with him lately about anything involving the children or the divorce since we met last week?
No, not really.
Okay. And do you, how do you feel about that? About like the lack of communication?
That's just him. I'm used to that. That's why we're in this divorce anyways.
Mhm.
So
Now, before you do come up with a custody agreement, have you thought about if you're wanting overnights or if you're wanting him to have them just during the day?
I wouldn't mind if they stayed a weekend with him. I feel like they'd be alright, but I'm not too sure yet either.
Now, you said that he does have a history of alcohol and substance abuse. Is that your worry?
Yeah.
Okay. And what steps do you think you could take in order to prevent that from happening around your children?
I'm really not sure. Because, I mean, he's going to do what he wants to do when he has the kids.
Mhm. Yeah, he will do what he wants to do. So you have to maybe speak with your attorney about that. But I mean, that's something you could put as your wishes. Maybe getting something where you could verify that he's sober or clean off of drugs. I know alcohol may be a little harder to detect and it is legal, but maybe you could speak with your attorney about options for him getting drug tested or something along those lines in order to protect your children. Because I know in the past that you have had to have that done before with him.
Yeah.
So that may be a viable option again in order to protect your children.
Yeah.
Now, are there any other, concerns that you have? Anything else that you feel like we need to work on as far as goals with the kids or with your ex-husband besides custody?
Not really.
Do you guys already have everything else?
Yeah, we've had everything pretty squared away.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, I think that we can wrap up here because, we have identified steps in order that you need to take to um, work on the custody agreement. And, our sessions are ending soon, so, we have a couple more times and then we'll be ending and we can talk about that. Next time we meet, we can kind of talk about how you're feeling about that and then where you are as far as your last goal that we have. And I think you've done a great job. I think you've accomplished a lot in the past couple of months. I think that you're doing really well, and I think it's great that you've accomplished so many goals in such a short amount of time, especially with everything that you've been going through. How do you feel about that?
I feel really good.
You feel good?
Yeah.
Do you feel like maybe you feel like you're stronger and
A lot
happier?
stronger and a lot happier.
You're happier. That's good. Well, I think it's a good idea that we meet, the same time, same place again. If you have any questions or concerns, you can certainly, give me a call. I know you know my number here. So I will see you next week and we can kind of talk about wrapping everything up, okay?
Alrighty, thank
All
you.
right, bye.